All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? Let me see if my levels are good. Okay, it is 5 p.m. West Coast time at 3 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on the East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. It looks like we got one of our Central Time folk coming in to the StatterBox. Hey, Darlene, how are you? Curious to know if that berry pie ended up being made or if it just remains a fantasy for all of us out in Statterboxville. I hope you guys are going to have a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. Today, I was doing some cooking for a birthday that I'm going to later on, and yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Belly Bear in the house. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Rick also in the house. And Rick, before you say it, we got the gear. We're coming at you at 1080p, but if that's too much and your Twitch is twitchy, feel free to fiddle with that thing probably right around here. Downgrade your feed for Twitch. And if you're watching a repeat on YouTube, well, YouTube also has a gear that might make your situation better if need be. By the way, if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, now that we've got all that out of the way, why don't we get the party started? E-Music in the house, wishing everyone a happy Makahiki season. That is right. It is the season of Lono. We will be listening to a Lono tune. Different Lono, of course, but that's okay. It is the season of Lono now. It is Makahiki season. It is the rainy season in Hawaii, and I'm hoping it starts to rain here up in the Pacific Northwest. We got a good downpour earlier this week, but we've dried out again. And next week, they're calling for snow. They're calling for snow next week. That was not what I had anticipated, but it looks like just a few hours ago they announced that maybe snow is happening in the lowlands of the Puget Sound starting next Monday. Anyway, I guess we're going to get winter without any kind of fall. All right, you guys. So today I figured, hey, Picola T, thank you so much for subscribing and coming in on this Wednesday before the holiday Thursday that is upon us. I hope that all y'all are settled in for your plans for tomorrow, and hopefully none of you are doing any major traveling. I can't even imagine having to deal with traveling during this weekend. It is, I believe they say it's the busiest travel weekend of the year. No, do not sign me up for it. Let me stay home, right? Right. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I was doing some cooking today. Not cooking for tomorrow, but cooking for actually today. I have a friend who is having a birthday, and it just so happens that a few months ago, she was telling me about her favorite kind of cake and birthday cake, which is a cherry chip cake with a cream cheese frosting that's not too sweet. And so when her birthday came about, I was like, ooh, I think I know what kind of cupcakes I'm going to make. So made the cupcakes this weekend because I was planning ahead, right? Popped them in the freezer. It was all good. The plan for today, because this is when we're celebrating her birthday, the plan for today was to create the cream cheese frosting. So last night, I set out the cream cheese. I set out the butter. So it'll all be room temperature and perfect. So today, I went and I started making everything. And I got about halfway through adding the cream cheese when suddenly my KitchenAid started to make the strangest noise. I mean, it was popping and bucking and just jumping all around the counter. And as it turns out, this fell out of my KitchenAid. Now, you might be wondering, what is this? This is the hinge that holds the top that lifts, you know? It's what holds it in. So basically, it was just like laying on the counter. And so, right, Rick. Oh, that can't be good. Right. So, and the icing's not done yet, right? So I stop the whirly bird contraption and I have the top part lifted, and I'm trying to figure out what to do. I can't get it back in. It's just not working. So I was like, well, we'll figure something out. Anyway, I then add more of the cream cheese to the bowl, and I'm like, I'll just hold it down. We'll figure it out. Well, the other part of the cream cheese package that I was fiddling with, the other half of the cream cheese, the warmed cream cheese that had been sitting out to get room temperature, fell onto the floor. The floor. And it was just like, well, but I need that. And so, luckily I had more cream cheese. It just was like cold from the fridge. Anyway, I ended up chopping it up really tiny, and it ended up with me pretty much laying on top of the KitchenAid to keep it from bucking all over the place. I got the cup, or I got the whip, the icing whipped. All I can say is I'm so glad that I'm not in charge of cooking anything major for tomorrow, because my KitchenAid is kaput. Now, I have every faith that I'll be able to fix this, but not today. I did not have time for that. So, yeah. And then, let's see here. Rick, you need a drift pin to center that shaft first, then drive it back in, then go to the bakery and buy a pie. I don't really know what most of what you said was, but go to the bakery and buy a pie. That sounds like a plan, my friend. But as it turns out, the cupcakes have been frosted, and they're in the fridge now waiting to be carted off to the party. By the way, we might end this stream a few minutes early because of the party that I'm going to, et cetera, et cetera. Cindy Krause in the house. Good to see you. And, and Darlene, oh yeah, you've had some cooking experiences before, and they aren't fun. I have no doubt that you've got stories. In fact, that's what I was hoping we could talk about today was you know, the random cooking disasters that we have all had in the midst of maybe, you know, in the midst of serving stuff, you know, I don't know, any kind of cooking disaster, any kind of baking disaster. I definitely want to hear about it. Belly Bear, I needed regular cheap hand mixer blender, inexpensive. I think I have one somewhere in my clutter, but honestly, I love my KitchenAid so much. It's one of the few things that I actually allow as appliances to be on my limited counter space. I really use the KitchenAid quite a bit. Or rather, I did use the KitchenAid quite a bit. Yeah. And let's see here. Kenny from the Cove. Hi, I'm Kenny from the Cove, and I'm here to confirm that Thanksgiving Day prep sucks out loud. That is right. But you know what? Luckily, my Thanksgiving Day meal is going to be very simple. It's just a steak dinner with some potatoes and some shaved Brussels sprouts. So I've got the steaks dry aging in the fridge as we speak. So that'll be easy peasy. But let's see here. It looks like... so wait, Darlene, you're saying that that this year there's a record number of people out because of COVID. Do you mean like the people working the traveling place? Because that's gonna be a hassle. That is going to be very much a hassle. And Rick, I didn't put any children in the mixer, but that doesn't mean that your wife didn't at one point, because she's had more opportunities to put children in the mixture or in the mixer. And let's see here. Who was it that complimented me on the little, my little finger? Belly Bear. There we go. My fingernails. They look pretty. Thank you so much. I have a confession to make. These are fake nails. These are fake nails. These nails are from a company called Kiss, and they're press-on nails that I actually reinforce with glue. And so they're about $6 for a set, and they last about a week. And so, as far as cost benefit analysis goes, it's way cheaper than going to the nail salon, and so you can get these at any kind of grocery store for the most part. You can get them at Ulta. You can get them online. And so it's a brand called Kiss. And these are the short ones because I can't handle the long ones. I tried the long ones for about a week and I was really useless. So I'm sticking to the short ones these days. And I want to thank you for noticing my fancy pants nails because I do love these little fake nails. Or as Andre says, not fake, it's faux. These are faux nails. Oh, wow, Kenny from the Cove, you just finished making cornbread from scratch and converting it into the mix for the cornbread dressing tomorrow. Awesome. And let's see here. Yeah, Picola tea. If I had said that the KitchenAid was sabotaged by a rat, we definitely would have had to fire my cats. I don't think this was the work of a rat. But, I'm not don't quote me on it, right? I mean, it could have been. And, let's see here. So it looks like, let's see here. Rick and Darlene are maybe only 20-minute drive in town, and it's gonna be a 50-degree day over in Wisconsin. So that is excelente. That sounds like great weather for Thanksgiving, Rick. I'm glad that you're not gonna have to worry about driving in the snow. Because if you were here and it were Monday, you might have to drive in the snow. And let's see here. Darlene, no, because for 2 years the people weren't out and about as much because of the previous COVID measures. Now, however, with people out in full force in very numbers. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think that I definitely think that people are going to be out in force this year. And let's see here. Andre, by the way, hello, good to see you. And did the interdimensional passage reopen, unleashing chaos to your appliances again? It would seem so. Yeah, it would seem so, but I overpowered it. I kept it on the counter. But so I had so I didn't actually tell you the whole story. All right, so the mixer was still, had been mixing the icing and it had the little whisk attachment. So I brought the top of the mixer, pivoted it up, and there was still some icing in the whisk. And then I managed to drop half the flippin' cream cheese on the floor, and then I had to get some out of the fridge. Well, anyway, by the time I got back to things, most of the frosting that had been in the whisk was on the verge of falling out into the counter, which would have been an even bigger mistake and hassle. So, it really is a case of no good deed goes unpunished. I thought that whipping up a batch of cupcakes from literally, a Duncan Hines or Betty Crocker box mix, because I don't know how to make cherry chip from scratch, right? So I honestly thought just whipping up a bunch of cupcakes and some cream cheese frosting wouldn't be that big of a deal. In fact, the practice batch of cream cheese frosting that I made a couple days ago in a much smaller capacity, it went flawlessly. I mean, I seriously thought that I was going to be able to whip up that icing and get them on the cupcakes like within less than a half an hour, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. No. And by the way, speaking of no, I need to do a yes, because here we go. Yes, we need background music, because this is just awful. All right, Belly Bear coming in with a good disaster. In past years, was newly married, made a baked chicken casserole in a rectangle glass pan that was in a woven basket. Then, my then husband was bragging to his friend that was our guest. And as I walked to the table, And as I walked to the table carrying the casserole by the woven handles, one handle broke. Oh no, and casserole flew out and under the table and onto the kitchen wall. You managed to save half of it. It was still good. Well, that's good, but yeah. That is exactly the kind of disaster, because it wouldn't have been that big of a disaster if you not if you hadn't had a guest, right? But no, of course, that's the only kind of time that that's going to happen, is when you've got a guest. And so, yeah, there you go. That sounds, that sounds about right. But at least you were able to save half of it. Like I saved half of the block of cream cheese that, that was, well, I didn't really save it. It had already gone into the bowl, and then the other half, oh God. Anyway, so I was in a little bit of a kerfuffle earlier today, and that would be why. So, let's see here. Yeah. And Rick, yeah, exactly. Sometimes things happen just because. I'm gonna finger cross that it is just because, as opposed to the interdimensional whateverness that I may have unleashed with my appliances. But I did have an idea that I would be able to fix this, but then Rick suddenly made it sound way more complicated. So we'll see. And let's see here. Andre, the casserole got a new name, Disaster. You have to give half to fate and the rest is just great. Yeah. Actually, you know what? That's a good question there, Belly Bear. Did you and your husband at the time, did you rename that casserole to Disaster Casserole? Because I think that would have been a really great name for your casserole after that. It's like, oh, let's make Disaster Casserole. And everybody's like, what is a disaster casserole? It's like, oh. Rick, just YouTube that mixer fixer. Oh, that's a brilliant idea. Because really, in theory, I just want to stick it in, but I have a feeling it's not going to be quite that simple. So yeah, I should, later tonight, I might end up doing that. Or not, I don't know. We'll just maybe wait until this weekend to tackle that problem. Yeah. But hey, Kenny from the Cove, you mentioned that you made your cornbread from scratch. So then you're going to be making the stuffing from it. That's like next level stuff, dude, right there. That's flippin' flirpin' impressive. But I'm just wondering if anybody else is having cornbread stuffing, or if they prefer the, I guess, white bread stuffing? My family never did cornbread stuffing. So I'm not familiar really with, the idea of making your bread just so you can tear it up to make it into stuffing seems kind of weird, but at the same time, it seems awesome. So I don't know. I'm just wondering, does anybody else do cornbread stuffing? And if they do they make the cornbread? And speaking of cornbread, on YouTube, I saw a recipe for sweet potato cornbread that is topped with a honey butter drizzle. And oh my God, you guys, I don't like cornbread that much. I don't like sweet potatoes. That sweet potato cornbread, I think I need all of it in my mouth right now. It looked so good. It looked like it would take care of everything that I don't really like about either of those things separately. Together, I think they would it was like a cake. It looked like it was a cake. And so if you're interested, you should YouTube sweet potato cornbread or sweet potato cornbread. And I think the user was Island Vibes or something like that. Oh my God, dude. Just the thumbnail alone will reel you in with, oh, I need that. And, okay, cooking disaster age 9. Took a huge glass bowl full of leftover spaghetti straight from the fridge and put it on the gas burner to reheat the spaghetti. Before the food could get warm, the sudden heat on the cold bowl made the bowl shatter, spraying shards everywhere and causing a tsunami of spaghetti and pasta sauce to engulf the stove. Oh, no. And so... Wait, hold on. So, Andre, your grandma made a sweet potato stuffing. I don't understand. How could you make a sweet potato? Wait, what? How is that possible? would stuff the sweet potato. She would. Is it safe to assume she would make sweet potato bread, I guess, which I've never heard of, but sweet potato bread, and then the bread was used as the stuffing? I'm a little confused about how a sweet potato could be made into stuffing. I mean, I'm not saying that it couldn't. Obviously, it can, but I'm just not wrapping my brain around it. And let's see here. No, you did not rename the casserole, but you were right on cue as the husband was going on and on about the casserole. So the timing was even worse, better. Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. And definitely a cold lesson there from Kenny in the Cove. No leftovers for you. Actually, though, Kenny, your story is kind of funny, but very legitimate. You were 9. You didn't know better. However, I had some friends who were in their 30s, so they should have known better. So we were going camping, and we were going snow camping. It was, over New Year's Eve. It's like less than, below freezing out where we were. And they had made a casserole in a Pyrex pan that they had reheated on their camp stove, which I thought was a bad idea to begin with, because you're not really supposed to put Pyrex on the direct heat like a burner, but they did, and they did it successfully. So it's like 20 degrees out, everybody's freezing, a nice hot casserole is on the verge of being prepared. And so what did they do? They took that Pyrex pan straight from the burner and they put it on the picnic table. The 20-degree picnic table. Needless to say, the exact same thing happened. That hot Pyrex pan just exploded everywhere. Glass in all of the hot food that everybody was hoping to eat. Oh my gosh, you guys. I wasn't really prepared to eat it because I had already eaten my dinner, but it did look good. I was going to have some. It was cold out. It was hot casserole. But they were cold and hungry and pissed off. And I don't really know what they were thinking. I mean, they were old enough to know better. Kenny, you were 9. You were not old enough to know better. But in your 30s, if you had done that, I would have been like, Kenny, you were old enough to know better. And so let's see here. Darlene, the first time you offered to do Christmas cookie baking with grandkids, sprinkles and all, flour all over, a couple of eggs dropped on the floor, and sprinkles everywhere. Took you days to clean up. Yeah, you thought you could handle kids making cookies, but not so much. Nope. Yep. Exactly. Oh, hey there, Memphis fan forever. Let's see here. You are practicing. Oh, wow. You are going to be in the Macy's Day Parade in Dakota State University, and you'll be drumming, doing the drum line. Fantastic. Well, hey, Memphis fan forever. I am Mad Statter. This is Chatter with Statter, and you're part of the StatterBox crew now that you've typed up something and said hello. So welcome on in. We are going to see where the chatter scatters. Right now, we're kind of talking about Thanksgiving, cooking plus and or cooking disasters. Sometimes Thanksgiving cooking equals cooking disasters. Other time, cooking disasters just happen. So let's see here. Let's see here. But how did the crack maker not shatter their Pyrex with all that heat, ice, and how did the crack makers not shatter their Pyrex with all that heat and ice and baking soda? Well, first off, I don't know if there's any ice in making crack. All of the times that I have been A, witness to crack making, and B, part of crack making, because yes, I have in my past made crack, there's no ice involved. And generally speaking, a microwave is involved. But I will say I don't understand how the Pyrex that my friends used for their casserole dish didn't break or crack on the burner, because you ain't supposed to use Pyrex on a burner. They say so explicitly. Pyrex did used to have pots that you could use on the burner, but they've been discontinued for over 20 years. In fact, I'd be willing to bet they've been discontinued for more than 40 years, but that's a different story. And so let's see here. Kenny from the Cove. The cornbread dressing mix I made is a traditional family recipe. About halfway through the process, you thought you were in the store yesterday. You passed by 6 full shelves of cornbread stuffing mix. Why didn't you just do that? Way to go, genius. Well, you had to go that extra mile. And I don't know if you're going to be eating with your sister or if you're just having a solo Thanksgiving, but if you're going to be eating with your sister, then there's always a good reason to go the extra mile so you can have bragging rights, right? Right. And let's see here. Belly Bear, down south cornbread stuffing recipe. Pre-bake the cornbread, break it up after cooling, add the butter, the chicken stock, evaporated milk, salt and pepper. That's it. Simple and delicious. I don't think I've ever seen milk in stuffing before. Interesting. Isn't that funny how everybody's got their own idea of, how the stuffing should be made? And so as I've mentioned, my family didn't do the cornbread stuffing. We did the white bread stuffing, I guess. So is milk in cornbread stuffing? For those of you who do cornbread stuffing, is putting milk in the mixture part of like a traditional part of the cornbread stuffing recipe? Because it actually sounds like I might want to try that. And let's see here. Oh yeah, no, Darlene, are you kidding me? It's a lost cause. Kids, keeping them from eating the cookie dough. I mean, I know that they say you're not supposed to, but really, for real, you guys, how many cookie doughs, fingerfuls did you steal when you were a kid? How many? Countless? Yes, countless, exactly. Can you count how many fingerfuls that you stole away from the bowl? No, you can't. Because you did it a whole lot when you were a kid. And so, if they're immunocompromised, then obviously want to be extra careful, but kids generally, kids are tough. And let's see here. And Cindy Krause had to step away. You were assigned green bean casserole. So you made it today and baking it tomorrow. Fantastic, Cindy. Say, one of my best friends, he and his wife are having a green bean casserole bake-off for their Thanksgiving. And they're going to have a neutral third party discuss it or trying which is better. Basically, they're using an identical recipe. The only difference between the two is one of them's going to use cream of mushroom and the other one is going to use cream of chicken. And then the third party will get to decide which one is better. So I'm just curious, when you make your green bean casserole, do you use cream of mushroom? Do you use cream of chicken? Do you use both? Do you use cream of celery? What kind of cream of mushroom soup do you use in your green bean casserole? I always use mushroom because it never occurred to me to use a different one. But once my friend mentioned that he likes to use the cream of chicken, I was like, hey, maybe that sounds good. And so let's see here. Picola tea, sourdough dressing with sage. Oh, sourdough. Okay, yeah, I don't think we had sourdough with our white bread. I think it was just toasted white bread. So sourdough dressing with sage sausage over here. Bread came from a bag for sure, didn't bake it. But you cut it up and made it into little chunks, right? God, you guys are so fancy. You guys are just fancy. And let's see here. Kenny from the Cove, you don't use milk. The moisture in your dressing comes from broth, eggs, and melted butter. Oh, interesting. I honestly can't say if I remember, but I don't think my mom used eggs. Melted butter and broth for sure. Milk, no. I don't think she made it in the eggs, with eggs. Rick, okay, a simple question. Make the stuffing in the bird or in a baking dish? Both. Well, I like the stuff that's in the bird because it's like a very different texture. But really, you need to make it in a baking dish because you don't have... Everybody loves stuffing, and there's never enough stuffing in the bird for everyone to get enough. So you have to make it in the baking dish at least. I mean, I like both, but if you're not going to stuff it in the bird, I guess if you're not going to stuff it in the bird, you have to make it in the baking dish. Yeah. Even if you are stuffing it in the bird, you still need to make a baking dish worth. That's my rule, at least. And let's see here. Andre. It's not exactly what I meant, but it's kind of exactly what I meant. Andre's all, well, get them used to food poisoning at a young age. Plus, kids put way nastier things in their mouth than raw cookie dough. Exactly. Picola tea, you used a mandolin to dice all the veggies and you still have all your fingers. Good for you. I kind of really sort of want a mandolin, but I am totally afraid of them. And so I don't do that. I do have a tiny food processor that I always forget I have. So like Kenny, I'm just a hand chopper. And let's see here. No chestnut stuffing for me. Some people might have it, but I think chestnuts are kind of weird, you guys. I had a friend give me some roasted chestnuts once, and honestly, I didn't know they were soft. Like, I didn't realize they would be squishy. I didn't like the texture, so I didn't eat them very much. Let's see here. Darlene, you were just trying to get enough dough to actually bake. So yeah, exactly. That reminds me, actually, my aunt, she was such a chocoholic, that whenever she made chocolate chip cookies, her chocolate chip cookies were just crappy because she would just pick all the chocolate chips out of the dough as she's like making them, And finally, one day, my cousins, and my mom would not do that, right? So finally, one day, my cousins just outright called her mom on it. She's like, Auntie B's chocolate chip cookies are a lot better than yours. How come hers have more chocolate chips? And, and Aunt Claire was just like, Aunt Claire knew why there was more chocolate chips in B's cookies than hers, but she didn't really want to admit to her kids just why. Auntie B's cookies were better than hers. Let's see here. And Andre, oh, right. So in your family, there's just so many types of stuffing. There's not enough room in the bird for all of them. Yeah, you couldn't hardly compartmentalize. It's like cornbread here, sweet potato here, sourdough here. That's not going to work. Yeah, that's definitely not going to work. So, okay, Cindy, you use whatever in your pantry. Today, it was cream of mushroom with chopped up mushrooms, chicken broth, and a bit of heavy cream. Chopped up a bit of white onion, but steamed it first. Little pepper, garlic, crispy onions on top. There you go. And Kenny from the Cove, you tried oyster dressing at a friend's house once. Egad. Yeah, that whole oyster thing in the dressing kind of freaks me out. I have no doubt that the flavor of the breading is probably okay, but like chunks of oyster, I don't know, dude, that just seems weird, but apparently it's really common. I mean, as you know, you ran across it. And let's see here, Andre, with my history of hand injuries, a mandolin might inspire a bit of fear. Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. And oh, Rick, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks that roasted chestnuts are kind of weird. So, if any of you out there are a big fan of roasted chestnuts, come sit next to me when we're served roasted chestnuts, and I will share with you all of my roasted chestnuts. I promise you. Well, maybe not all of them. I'll probably try like half of one just to make sure I don't like it. Yeah. And oh no, Belly Bear. In the past, there was a radio station that had callers call in with Thanksgiving disasters. One was a mother and daughter-in-law fighting to carve the turkey as they each held their knives. Oh no. Well, I guess whoever has the electric knife wins. Oh no. Yikes. And oh no, Cindy Krause, your grandma forgot to turn the oven on once and dropped a turkey another time. That is funny. That reminds me of my grandma once, her favorite little turkey story back in the day. So, I don't know if the turkeys still come with these, but you know the little pop-out thermometers that turkeys at least used to come from? Or used to come with? Okay, so this was a long, long, long time ago when this happened. And it was one of the first years those little pop-out thermometers were being offered for the turkeys. And she was so excited that she was like, oh, I won't have to keep, poking it with the blah, blah, blah. So she had the pop-out thermometer, the little button thing that they insert. She had one. It was brand new technology. And she was stoked on it. And so she put the turkey in the oven and waited for that thing to pop. And it never popped. So, I don't even know how many hours later, she finally pulls this, dehydrated chunk of bone and, and sinew out of the oven. And, yeah, there was no turkey that year because it never popped. Yeah, Cindy, Purdue Oven Stuffers had those pop-out thingies. Yeah, and it didn't work the first year, or at least not on that one turkey it didn't. So, let's see here, Kenny. The last time you bought a tube of premixed cookie dough, it said on the package that it would make 3 dozen cookies. By the time you got done eating the dough, you were able to make 11 cookies. 11. Lesson learned. Don't wake, bake, and bake. There you go. There you go. That is hysterical. 11 cookies. Oh, no. See, though, the thing is one of the reasons why I don't like to get the cookie dough, to make the cookies is because it doesn't matter, dude. Dough or cooked, I'll probably eat all of them before the night is over. And it's like, do I really need to eat 3 dozen cookies? No, but one at a time, it's just a snack, and I'll just have one more, and then, oh, look, they're all gone. Oh, no wonder I've got a bellyache. So, you know what? You would have eaten them, cooked or raw. You would have eaten them anyway. And, Belly Bear. Now, in France, they soak chestnuts in lots of sugar and sell them like boxes of chocolates, about $50 per box, called marrons. I'm going to say marrons glacé. Too sweet. I can appreciate where you're coming from, but I can see, I almost feel like I might have liked them better if they had been sweetened like that. I wouldn't have liked them enough to pay $50 a box, though. That's crazy. That's way crazy, dude. And let's see here. Yeah, Kenny, does Buc-ee's have Thanksgiving barbecue turkeys? Because I'll tell you what, you guys, I was last week or couple weeks ago, I was driving through Kentucky Fried Chicken to get one of their sandwiches, because for $5, it's a really good deal. And apparently you can get your Thanksgiving turkey at Kentucky Fried Chicken. They'll deep fry your turkey for you. You have to order it ahead, of course, but Kentucky Fried Chicken does turkeys. Who knew? Who knew? And let's see here. And Grandma had a chestnut tree, and we would make the marron glacé and can them. Oh, and can them. Let's see here. Okay. And Kenny, not sure if they do barbecue turkeys, but they make a stellar barbecue turkey sandwich with a huge slab of turkey on it. And that sandwich is the universal standard of deliciousness. Well, then I'm guessing they probably do. I mean, whether or not they have them for sale to the general public, but it sounds like they do barbecue their turkeys. And, Church's Chicken also has turkeys. Awesome. And let's see here. Rick, latest science says eat your normal breakfast and lunch before Thanksgiving dinner so you don't overeat. Rookies. Oh, you mean Popeyes? Well, who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if all of the chicken places have that, actually. I mean, obviously, I don't know, but I'm not at all surprised that Popeyes does, just like I'm not surprised that Church's does. And, by the way, if you're going to get anything at Church's for your Thanksgiving dinner, get them their biscuits, because they've got some honey glazed biscuits, and quite honestly, as far as I'm concerned, the best thing that Church's Chicken has to offer is those stupid honey glazed biscuits, because they're so flippin', they're sweet, they're good. They might as well be dessert. Oh, if you guys haven't had Church's honey glazed biscuits, or actually they're just the biscuits, they happen to honey glaze them, honey butter glaze them, by the way. If you haven't ever tried them, you definitely should. And that is if a little biscuit your tummy can handle it, because you know, it's got gluten in it. It's got carbs. I don't know if you're doing gluten and carbs, but there you go. And Rick, I don't know what kind of chestnuts I tried, but no, I can appreciate that. I can definitely appreciate that. And you live for turkey sandwiches yourself. Yum. Yeah. You know, the last time I made a turkey was several years ago, and one of the reasons why I made it was just so I could have a turkey sandwich left over. And I know that this is like so suburban of me, and it's very white bread of me, literally. To me, the best leftover turkey sandwich is made on white bread with mayonnaise and salt and pepper, and then slices of turkey, maybe some leftover stuffing, if there's leftover stuffing, but that's very rare. But it's got to be on white bread. And there's something about just that stupid mushy texture that is the perfect leftover turkey sandwich for me. However, I didn't have a loaf of white bread. And so I went and got a loaf of cheap white bread from the 7-Eleven. And it turns out I was allergic to it. Every time I ate it, my mouth would go numb. And a nurse friend of mine was like, yeah, that's one sign, you know, you're one step away from anaphylaxis. That is a food allergy. Don't be eating that bread. So I didn't have any bread to make the yummy turkey sandwiches with. But, oh no, Belly Bear, tomorrow torture because of second round of diverticulitis. Because you thought it was gone and you ate corn and pecans last Friday. Oh no. Eating only broth, soup, mushy foods, and lots of water. Very sad. On the plus side, losing weight. Yep, there you go. There you go. No, that does suck. But now, obviously, you do you. But it seems like mashed potatoes and gravy might be mushy. Maybe? Do you think you could have mashed potatoes and gravy? Maybe? Maybe? I hope you can have mashed potatoes and gravy. And did I have Wonder Bread in Seat? Did we have Wonder Bread in Seattle? Oh yeah, we had Wonder Bread in Seattle. In fact, there used to be a Wonder Bread bakery on Capitol Hill, or the Denny Regrade area of Capitol Hill. And it wasn't Wonder Bread that gave me the weird allergic reaction, but I was super bummed. And then I was freaked out to buy any other white bread, so I just didn't have the leftover sandwiches like I wanted to. And let's see here. Kenny from the Cove started to go to Buc-ee's before coming home today, pulled up, peeked into the store and thought, no way, I'm gonna surf that wave of humanity. Yeah, and all you just wanted was a turkey sandwich. And wait, what? Rick, what? Other food tips on the news today. They say throw out all leftovers by Monday? How are you still alive? Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know. I mean, well, you know what, Rick? Okay. While I disagree with that tip, because no, I wonder if it's for the kind of families that like leave their, that they have all their casseroles and their stuff and they leave them out room temperature for like the entire day or whatever. And, once you do that, that's a problem. But if you, serve them hot out of the oven and then put that stuff away real quick, there's not a lot of time for grossness to start growing in your casserole dish. And leftovers can definitely be, when stored properly, kept longer than that. So let's see here. Kenny, you had that surgery today. That is why you were at Buc-ee's. Got it. Well, I'm glad that you were able to get in and out of there. And I'm also glad that you decided not to bother with Buc-ee's, because I can't even imagine dealing with any store today. I went to my, I went to my place. What is it called? I went to my produce stand. But luckily, that wasn't that crowded. I was anticipating fighting for the Brussels sprouts that I was there for. Excuse me. Thank you, Andre, for those biddies. But let's see here. Oh, wait. Is Andre heading on out? Hold on. Oh, gotcha. Yep. All right, Andre. Thank you so much for the biddies. Head on out. Do your thing. You might have to go tackle a wave of humanity if you're still looking for Thanksgiving treats. So good luck with whatever you're going to be doing tonight. And Belly Bear, you made fresh cranberry orange relish. Good. Then you cheated and bought 2 Martha Stewart side dishes for your contribution. About 14 people at your son and girlfriend's house. Well, since you're not eating very much, I feel like it's kind of mean that they're making you bring stuff. And yeah, Kenny, exactly. I'm not throwing out any Thanksgiving leftovers, but they will be gone by Monday. Yeah, there you go. And and exactly, Darlene. It's like there's a proper way of taking care of leftovers, and it's pretty amazing how long leftovers can last if you take precautions. But I can see why, like, a carte blanche, like, we don't know how dirty you are, we don't know how white trash you are, we don't know what you've done with your food after you took it out of the oven, so throw it away, by Monday. And rule of thumb, cooked food 5 days in fridge, raw food for 3. Yep, there you go. Although I have to admit, I have stretched that raw food thing just a little bit, but alas, I only cook for me, and I haven't gotten sick yet. So I wouldn't necessarily. There was a chicken thigh last week that I was like, I wonder. But I cooked it. Everything was fine, but it was definitely like, I'm rolling the dice on this one. But you cook things long enough, hot enough, it kills everything, right? Right. If it doesn't smell funny and if it doesn't look discolored, I figure maybe we're safe. And Rick, good tip about right. It takes me about 5 days to get to the back of the fridge where we keep all the science experiments. Yeah, there you go. In fact, that reminds me, today I was shuffling my fridge around and to get the cupcakes in and get the this, that, and the other thing. Anyway, I noticed that a while ago, I don't know when, I must have baked too many baked potatoes, and so I put one of the leftover baked potatoes in the fridge, apparently. And I don't know how long it's been there, but have you ever seen, those little shrunken heads? I think I have a shrunken potato. I found the shrunken potato today that I had forgot was there. Luckily, it was just dried out and shrunk. It wasn't really gross. It was just, it was gross looking, but it wasn't like a science experiment per se. And oh good, you can eat mashed potatoes and gravy. You get conflicting stories online from your GP doc. She said she would leave it up to you. And yeah, Darlene, no, I'm not going to eat the potato. No, that went into the compost bin. But it was funny. It was like, oh, I don't even remember putting you there. So I don't even know when that happened. But let's see here, Belly Bear, I think when it comes to gastrointestinal stress type stuff, it varies so much from person to person that really all you can do is, forgive the pun, all you can do is listen to your gut. Sorry, that was not really intended, but there you go. So, and if you think that if potatoes traditionally aren't a problem for you, then I say go for the gold, go for the glory, go for the gravy, go for it all. And Kenny from the Cove, could you have made vodka out of that tater? I don't know, maybe. I've never made any kind of alcohol though, so I'm not going to start with a science experiment shrunken tater. And oh my God, Belly Bear. There was a TV show that went around to people's refrigerators, and the person with the oldest moldy food won. Oh, that is so gross. I kind of don't know. That strikes me. Now, Belly Bear, was that an American show, or was that something that was like a BBC show? Because that sounds like something that is like fully a British show to me, and I don't know why I think that, but it sounds like that was a British show to me. I don't know why I think that, but that's what I think. And hey, Gina, how you doing? We are talking about all sorts of random food disasters, science experiments in the back of the refrigerator, how long you should keep leftovers, you know, all of the associated Thanksgiving type stories. What prompted it? Well, my KitchenAid fell apart today, and I had to wrangle it before everything fell apart even bigger. So, yeah, it was an interesting situation. And let's see here. Oh no, your buddies and you tried to make coconut liquor once. Major fail with catastrophic consequences. I don't really know what you mean by that. Now, was it a big mess? Did someone get sick? Was there, yeah, tell us about these catastrophic consequences, Kenny, because we are talking about food disasters. Disaster casserole, after all, right? Right. Oh, it was a talk show, but you can't remember Baby Jay Leno. Got it. Okay, yeah, I could totally see that, too. I could totally see that. Yeah, you know, I don't, you all got horribly sick. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking might have happened. And, E-Music, were you running for your life after that coconut concoction? I don't know if I'm reading between the lines, but I think she might mean two things by the word running. Yeah, you know, you got to be careful when you're doing some homemade fermenting, as it were. And I can only assume that fermented coconut, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I can only assume fermented coconut, yeah. Yeah. All right, well, on that note, we're going to take a quick Lono break, and Lono is going to be reminding us just how life is pretty good, and we should be taking thanks for all the things in our life that's pretty good tomorrow. So now, let's listen to some Lono.
Okay, Kent and Angie, key of G. In the light of the river that flows, carries the lake, to the ocean it will go, then out to the sea, over the horizon, somewhere in a new world, waiting for something alone. And in this moment, I found a few friends who brought me comfort and joy. When the light shines on each brand new day, and you see its rays through the cloudiest of days, and you see of your life racing in front of you, there we will stand and try again. For just one moment, I still remember you, for all the good things we share. When there, give me a call if you would. I'm just waiting. And the last time that we said goodbye, I could not feel the pain. Though I will try to feel the love that two people feel for one another, looking for bright days. I see your smile when I'm okay. Wonderful life is what we dream of. I see the light in your eyes. Yeah, we know life is pretty good. Sun is shining. When you get there, give me a call if you would. I'm just waiting. Yeah, we know life is pretty good. Sun is shining. Get there, give me a call if you would. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. Life is pretty good. Life is pretty good.
All right, there we go. Excelente. And hey, Yamamoto-san, happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody in chat. That is excellent. And yes, Belly Bear, I have to say, I agree. I am so thankful for the Ohana that we have built up here, thanks to Andy Bumatai and thanks to all of everybody just keeping this community together. I really, it's been close to, it's like 2.5 years. We're getting on 3 years now where we have all maintained this community. And I can truly say that my life would not be the same without all of you. And without a doubt, tomorrow will end every day. Really, I do give thanks for the opportunity that we have to be together, even though none of us are very close. That is physically close. I do feel like we all do have a connection that is very legitimate, and we know each other and celebrate our losses and our disasters and our triumphs together, however small, and when I say celebrate our disasters, I might be referring to my KitchenAid disaster, which worked, but exactly. Cheers to all the chatterers. Cheers to all the Hamajang gang. Cheers to the Photo Luke Lolo crew and everybody who travels between all of us. And C Honda is one of those folks who travels in all those circles. Good to see you, C Honda. So glad you're here today. Right now, we're just sort of talking about, various and assorted kitchen disasters, be they Thanksgiving oriented or not. I had a birthday disaster today. It wasn't really a disaster, but I was trying to make icing and my KitchenAid decided to fall apart in the middle of it. So I held it together with my hands and made it work. And e-music, exactly, coming in. We're a true Ohana without a doubt. You've got chosen family and you've got your biological family, and it feels like we are all so blessed to have found one another. For so many people who I've never met in real life, I still have, I think about you daily. I feel connected. And so I can only assume that I'm not the only one here who feels that way. And so, I just want to give thanks to all of you for everything, all the support you've given not only this community, but all the other communities and all the other people a part of this community, Photo Luke's community, Andy Boomatai's community, etc. Terry in Scotland's community. How could I have forgotten Terry in Scotland, for goodness sake? He is definitely one of the linchpins that have helped keep us all together and has brought newer people in to the Twitch fam that we all have here. And so, yeah, I don't mean to be all just like gushing. So, but I just can't help it. And that's it. We've got to clean, we've got all the Prel dots, right? It's time to be thankful for the Prel dots. There we go. We're going to be thankful for the Prel dots. Oh, all right, you guys. So let's see here. Yeah. So what else? Oh, yeah. So Kenny from the Cove, I still am very curious as to what exactly you guys did with that coconut to think that you were... I mean, I guess what it boils down to, Kenny, is what were you thinking? I mean, like... What did you do to that coconut? And what were you thinking? And, I just have to wonder what it was that Kenny did. And, oh, you're so sweet, E-Music. I am particularly thankful for your contributions, E-Music, to this stream, especially the patience that you've shown when I'm massacring Hawaiian words and when I'm only telling part of a story that I really have no business telling. E-Music is a cultural practitioner of Hawaii, and the input that you've given me, and all the little details of this, that, and the other thing, I'm very thankful for your input in my life, because the Hawaiian culture is something that we all love, and the platform that I have is only a small voice to get the word out about Hawaiian cultural practices. And sometimes the word that I get out might be wrong. And that is why it is wonderful to have someone like you, E-Music, saying, actually, maybe like this way. Or, oh, hey, you kind of got that right. And here's some more info, etc., etc. So I just really, I'm thankful for all of you guys, really, who are contributing to this stream. We've got Malka503. He's not here today, but he has contributed, some movies. Kenny from the Cove, Andre, obviously both of them have contributed some movies. This community is not functional without all of you, and it just is. It just warms my heart to see that we're still hanging out almost 3 years later. Okay. Oh, God, Kenny, I only have read part of what you just wrote. All right. In our defense, some of us were already drunk. Some of us were high. Some of us were both. We got some coconuts and drilled holes in them. Into the holes, we poured yeast and sugar. Then we put duct tape over the holes and left them in the kitchen to ferment. Instead of testing our concoction, we all just dived in headfirst and went for broke. Oh my God. Gross. And frankly, I'm kind of surprised the coconuts didn't explode, because you are supposed to vent. When you're fermenting, you're supposed to vent. I mean, come on. Have you never heard of pruno? Do you know how to make pruno? You always got to put a straw in the bag to let it vent. Silly kitten. You deserved that, Kenny. You deserved that headache. And Belly Bear, you, let's see here. You feel a connection because part of your family is in Washington State, and I'm sure I'll be traveling back up there. That's so awesome. Yeah, and I don't know, Belly Bear, what part of Washington State, because off the top, I know we've talked about this before and I cannot remember. I want to say your folks are more Eastern Washington though. Anyway, if you do ever get up to Washington State again and you happen to be on the west side, I would like the opportunity to try to cross paths with you. Obviously, travel times sometimes are limited and we can't do everything that we want. But if you do make it back up here, I would love to see if our paths can cross. And so let's see here. And Kenny from the Cove, honestly, I'm not so sure I'm the one to be giving birth to this community. It really was an Andy Bumatai creation. He's sort of the father of us all, as it were. And I just, I like I said, I'm just so flippin' thankful that we were able to find each other, and it was during one of the darkest times of our recent history, and we've made it through for the most part, and we're still chilling together, which is just awesome. And so let's see here, DJ Smook, you got a mini vacation going on, but you're heading back to the office tomorrow. Well, wait, you're not supposed to be able to go to the office tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day of the day, or whatever. Rick, thankful you all put up with me. Oh, Rick, come on. When you're naughty, we just throw the prel your way. And sometimes when you're funny, we throw the prel your way. We're just some prel throwing folk here. And Belly Bear, a group of Gus girls tried to make the lime in the coconut. Not good. Okay, yeah. Let's see what else we've got here. And Belly Bear, Port Ludlow, that's not Eastern Washington. Lacey, that's just down the street from where I went to college in Olympia. Yeah, 2 brothers, 1 sisters. Okay, see, I got your family history all screwed up in my head. Shoot, gosh darn heck, Fork. We could totally meet up. That is absolutely within our, within my jurisdiction, within my neck of the woods. Well, Port Ludlow's a little more out there, but Lacey, shoot, that's just an hour away. That's no big deal at all. So there we go. Yeah, all right. Belly Bear and I are already making fake plans because we don't know when they're going to happen. But it's going to happen one day, maybe. Okay, you guys, let's see here. What else? Gina, you feel more at home with this one, Luke and Terry, than with Andy. Well, yeah, Gina, I can appreciate that because you definitely are a much larger contributor to all those communities. And I don't think you ended up in Andy's realm for as long as a lot of us have. But see, that's the beauty of it. Our community is still open to, growing and getting people coming on in, and you have definitely made yourself at home. I love that you hang out here. I love that you contribute. I know that that a lot of people feel a little bit shy at first about, typing in things, et cetera, but once you get the hang of it, you're all welcome, because we can't have chatter with statter without chatter, right? And Rick, all your jokes inspired by Tina Rose Cager before you. That's right, Tina Rose, the queen of the bad dad joke. That's what we love about Tina. Well, we love a lot of things about Tina Rose, actually, but her silly jokes are definitely one of them. And yeah, exactly. As Darlene puts it simply and best, we like you, Gina. We do. And Belly Bear, good. You will let me know. Excellent. And actually, you guys, as you're sitting here watching me and Belly Bear make pretend plans, anybody who's coming in to the Puget Sound area, let me know. I can't promise that we'll be able to meet up. I cannot promise that. But if it happens, it happens. And I really would love to meet up with folks. I've already met up with Pacola T while she was here. And it was a wonderful time. Of course, when I went to Hawaii, I got to meet up with Michi Mama and Carol, who doesn't hang out here on this channel. She's an Andy Bumatai lady. And then Dis. Oh God, I can't remember what her username is. Her name's Linda. She's a Facebook friend. Dis, who's Dis? Oh shoot, what is Dis's name? I got to hang out with her and she gave me a lovely lay, and now I feel Wild Willie, thank you, Picola Tea. Don't tell her I could not remember her name. Oh my God. It's not like it's not like this is gonna go out on the internet or anything. Thank you, Picola Tea. I could see her face, but I was just like, yeah. So got to meet Wild Willie. I've gotten to meet Andy Boomatai, which was awesome. And Andre came up. We had a meal at Zippy's, got to meet Andre. So yeah, you guys, if you ever do make it up to the Puget Sound area, let's see if we can cross paths. It'll be awesome. And Kenny, y'all could never find me where I'm at, so I feel no need to be shy here. There you go. And that's exactly it, Darlene. We have our mix of personalities here. It's a good mix of fun people. And what's really kind of neat, and I guess maybe it's just a projection on my part, but I feel like we have known each other long enough and through the interwebs, etc., that even though we've not met face to face, we can still gather the person's personality. Like if somebody hacked your account and started posting as Darlene, my best guess is it would only take a few minutes before people are like, what's wrong with Darlene? That doesn't sound like Darlene. I don't think that's Darlene. Is that really, that doesn't sound like Darlene would never say that. Darlene wouldn't say it like that. We get a feel for who we are, even though we've never met each other. And exactly, Rick, very good advice. Just treat Andy's chat the same as others. Just go for it. Precisely. On the other hand, if you're busy during Andy's stream, well then shoot, don't bother because you're not going to be there. But yeah, that is exactly it. And Rick, you're so silly. Yeah, you've said the same thing about Darlene all the time. What's wrong with Darlene? Why did she say that? How did you know, Rick? How did you know? I was just about to throw down some Prel dots and some ha-has for that one. Yeah, Cindy, if we do the math, I think we're coming on let's see, okay, I think it was March when it was March 2020 when Andy first went on. So that's sort of what I'm going to call the starting point. So we're at the end of November for the most part. So December, January, February. So we're like 2 years and 9 months, we're almost 3. And so, yeah, almost 3. Exactly. And yes, Darlene, I could say the same thing about Rick. If somebody started posting as Rick who wasn't Rick, I think we would all know that was not Rick. Pre-prelled. Perfect. And yeah, exactly, DJ Smoke. Andy built a great community, even from his first series of online shows back in 2010. That's true. And I didn't see any of those shows when they were first out, but it absolutely was because of his, Daily Pigeon Live, short videos that he used to do before he got sick. All of that content was what I was watching on YouTube, which is what caused me to follow Andy, which then when, I followed and clicked the bell for notification. So when he went online live, it was like, hey, what do you know? Boom. I know this guy. Let's see what's up. Hey, Pratic0537, how you doing? We are sitting here talking about random stuff and how much we love this chat community, and you are now part of this chat community. I'm Mad Statter. This is Chatter with Statter, and you are part of the StatterBox crew. So, yeah, we're giving a little bit of a thanks here, and then we're also talking about random cooking disasters that may or may not have happened in your life, because one of them happened today. And so, let's see here. I don't know what your command it means. I'm really bad at those commands right now, Pratic. So So yeah, sorry about that. So let's see here. Oh, Stream Elements, you've been following for 7 flippin' months? Holy flippin' flirt, dude. Well, thank you so much for like talking and showing face. That's a huge amount of time to be following this chatter stream. So why did I have to introduce myself? I am so sorry about that. And you know, Practic, I feel like you have spoken here before. I feel like the more I say your name, the more I'm like, hold on, wait a second. This sounds familiar. And Penel, you found Luke, and then Andy from him. Exactly. And so, so yeah, all these things, Terry in Scotland, Photo Luke Hawaii, Andy Bumatai, me, hopefully, you know, we've got our little tentacles out in all the different places, and we're just going to make more and more people join the StatterBox crew and the Hamajang gang, and we'll just grow this community. We'll just grow this community with love and cooking disasters. Oh, you're a pilot and you lost your Twitch password. Yeah, I know how that is. In fact, part of the reason why I hesitate to make any kind of major changes with my Twitch that require me to like log in or log back out is because I'm not really sure if I remember my Twitch password either. Cursed the automatic logins, right? You kind of forget what you did back in the day. And I'm sure that it was like, that it's probably, you know, one of your main 6 or 7 passwords, but I'm always afraid, like when I type in a new password, it's like, okay, how many tries am I going to get before I get locked out? And another thing I'm really afraid of and hate is when they don't let you see what you're typing in for your password, because it's like, well, maybe I just did a typo, but since I can't see it, I mean, a lot of times, you know, you have that option to show it or unshow it, but sometimes you don't have that option and it doesn't let you see what it is you're typing. And those, in case you can't tell from my tone, those things frustrate me. And Gina, you found Andy, then me, Terry, and Luke, and now Terry and Luke are friends and Fortnite partners. Gina, I think isn't you going to be a Fortnite partner pretty soon? I think I remember seeing you doing some little Fortnite-y stuff there with Terry, and one day you might be part of that crew too. You'll be fighting or whatever. I don't really know what Fortnite does, but it looks like you go on battles, right? And do I like to play Valorant? No, I actually don't really play any video games. I like driving video games, but I don't have any installed on my computer right now. So no, I am definitely not one of those gamer types. Not to mention, I don't think my computer can handle a lot of the games. I was trying to video edit a video. Okay, that was redundant. I was trying to edit a video, and my computer has basically decided that it doesn't want to video edit any videos anymore because it just crashes and takes up too much memory or something. So one of the reasons why we haven't seen a whole lot of new videos coming out of the StatterBox, out of the StatterBox, yeah, that's because my computer is just like, yeah, no, boom, shut down. Yeah, no, but well, actually, the computer doesn't shut down, just the video editing software does. So, yeah. So we've just got a bunch of old videos, and oh no, Practic, you got to go to the Philippines. All right, well, enjoy your flight. Be safe and have a happy holiday on the air in the air or on the ground. So glad you could hang out, and thank you so much for following for 7 months. Super awesome. And write down that Twitch password, right? Right. All right, you take care, Braddock. And Darlene, Gina is an awesome Fortnite player. She took down Luke, Terry, and Carl, won the whole thing the first time just recently. That's what I thought. See? I thought that she was all being a superstar on Fortnite, even though she was kind of a beginner. And you've been battling for almost 3 weeks. Terry's been trying to teach you. by a total fluke, you got one victory on Monday with Carl, Luke, and Terry. Oh, that's beautiful. That is so awesome. Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, you take care, man. Fly safe. Well, I mean, that's a given, right? Right? And you know, though, Gina, that is really awesome that you've got the crew there that's trying to teach you, because I know that Terry is somewhat new-ish to Fortnite, and so and I think actually Photo Luke is kind of, well, I wouldn't say he's new, but anyway, it's nice though to be taught by someone who isn't super advanced, because the people who are like just a little bit above you in knowledge, they remember everything you don't know. Whereas like when you're learning from people who are super high up and advanced, sometimes those advanced people forget what it's like to be a beginner and forget all the things that you didn't know before you knew them. And so they think it's like, well, of course you would do this, that, or t'other. Why would I have to explain that to you? And it's like, because I'm a beginner, silly kitten. Whereas the person who's just a little bit above you totally remembers like, oh yeah, that was weird. Someone had to explain that to me. I'm going to go explain that to them. And so, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that I think that it sounds like you've got a little bit of Fortnite talent, and B, you've got a good crew, and C, I'm hoping that, that you guys get lots of victories in the future. That is right. That's right. All right, Cindy Krause, you got to get going. Okay, yes, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And let's see here. All right, so, you know, Cindy's heading out. I've got some time constraints going on, etc., etc. Perhaps we should wrap this up just a little bit early, so everybody can get going on with their pre-holiday plans, as it were. So, what I'm going to do is remind all y'all that StatterBox at the Cinema is happening this Saturday, 6 p.m. West Coast time, and we are going to be watching Hunt for the Wilder People? Hunt for the Wilder People? I don't know what it's called, but it's a film out of New Zealand. It's a comedy film. It's rated PG-13. It was donated by Andre, and so we will be watching that this Saturday. And let's see here. E-Music, you've decided to do something different for Thanksgiving. You're going to fast instead of eating till you sleep, so to speak. There you go. Well, now be sure to hydrate well. But that is quite possibly one of the best Thanksgiving plans I've heard, actually, because my plan is to eat a really big steak dinner, and that's probably not nearly as healthy as a nice occasional fast. And Penel, you're getting a bookcase delivered at 9 a.m. tomorrow. That's right, because you're in Canada, and you're just like, this Thanksgiving talk is a month too late, y'all. What are you talking? Actually, it's more than a month too late, I think. But yeah, you've already had your Thanksgiving. But you know, with all us stateside folk, you get to go through a second one this today. And yes, it's Eve of Thanksgiving. It is the second biggest drinking bar scene around here. Not for us. Another rookie night. Let's see here. E-Music, you'll be drinking lots of water and tea. There we go. See Honda. Oh, you guys are so sweet. I think I appreciate you as much as you guys appreciate me, if not more. And Kenny from the Cove, you fasted for 2 weeks back in the 90s. That's a long fast, dude. And you think it will be enough for one lifetime. Fair enough. All right, you guys, we're going to trim it 5 minutes short today. And thank you so much, E-Music, for the kind words. Thank you so much, Gina, for hanging out. Happy Thanksgiving to all y'all. And we will see each other on Saturday for StatterBox at the Cinema. And if we can't see each other then, we'll hang out on Sunday for Statter with Chatter. No, that's not where we're going to hang out. We're going to hang out and we're going to do Chatter with Statter. All right, then. There you have it. Oh, no, Penel, you fainted in church. Yeah, don't do that again. You should eat. I give you permission. Not that you need my permission, but there you go. Okay, you guys, don't faint in church. Don't eat so much till you sleep, but eat just enough until you almost fall asleep. How about that? Okay. Take care, y'all. I'll see you soon.